Today we're going to be going over learning Canva basics, and we are going to have the Realtors from the Martin County Realtors Association on today. So just know that this is a class that was put together for them, and if you guys are watching this on YouTube, that we have provided this class for them. So there is going to be a bit of back and forth with questions and such like that, but all the valuable content will still be here. And if you guys are rewatching this, thanks for watching, and I hope that you guys find this valuable. Please also subscribe to our channel to get more updates on our content that we post every week, as well as you can look in the description of this video, and I should have put there should be the timestamps of each of the topics that we go over today. So I'll go over each of those so that you guys can go ahead and click through this video and get back to the part that you want to relearn. Thanks for watching. Zoom our recording here. Alrighty. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves or just ask in the chat, and I will monitor that. So I'll be happy to help you there. And everybody can see my screen well and clear? Yes? You can give me a thumbs up or chat it. Cool. Alrighty. So welcome to Learning Canva Basics with me, Lucie McGuire. I work with Aero Title Services, and it's actually good because I think that there's quite a few people in here that I don't think I've ever met before. So nice to meet you virtually. Canva has been such a tool that I have loved using and just delving into, especially during coronavirus, just learning so much more about it. But there's so many tools with it, and I'm excited to share with you guys. We have previously had Zoom Basics with MCRTC and our Zoom Intermediate class, and both of which, we talked a little bit about Canva because you can do the virtual backgrounds and stuff, and everybody was excited to have the Canva class. So MCRTC was like, okay, if they want Canva, here we are. So that's how we are here today. So thank you to MCRTC for allowing me the opportunity to share this information with you guys. And they're a great organization, so I'm glad that I'm a part of it and an affiliate with them. So this presentation, majority of this whole presentation is going to be in Canva itself. So going to show you hands-on what you can do with it and navigate through it so you guys can see that whole process. But I do have a couple of things to just go over before we do that. Again, introducing myself. I do work as the business development officer for Aero Title Services. I am born and raised in Martin County. Been here my entire life, but I have traveled a lot, so that's something that I love to do as well. Since COVID, I've delved into a lot of the social media world and just trying to get our branding out as much as possible, and really have sharpened a lot of my skills with graphic design because of the help of Canva. And it's something that I've learned a lot with Canva, so it's very easy to utilize, and I'm excited to show you guys more about it. And very well versed in social media, so if you ever have any social media questions, you guys can always ask that. And one of the quotes that I always say is, the one thing in life that's constant is change, and we really have to just always be readjusting ourselves, and especially in real estate, I mean, things are changing all the time, and you guys are well versed to change. And this is just one of those things, like with social media becoming such an integral part of the real estate process, it's good to have these tools on your side. So I'm happy to be able to help during this. So your life, I believe, is going to get easier with Canva, or at least that's my goal at the end of this, that you will get a little bit easier and you guys understand it just a little bit more. I did see that a lot of you guys have a free version of Canva, and some of you guys do have the paid version. So I do have the paid version. I use it quite a lot. Honestly, it is the best $13 a month that I think I spend, because I use it literally like 3 or 4 times a day. Like, it's crazy. And I'm going to show you some of the features that you're going to get with the paid version. There is a free version, and you can always use that free version up until, just know that you're going to be limited, and I'll show you some of those things that you're going to be limited in. But there is a lot of really cool things that you can do with the paid version, and you're just going to get a lot more access to different pictures and such like that, and templates. But we'll go over that a little bit later, and if you have any questions about some things, you can always ask. But some of the things that we're going to be going over today, you know, navigating the screen of Canva, like when you are in the design template, like where you're trying to find things, some custom dimensions, like what that looks like, because that is actually a paid version aspect, which you can like customize your dimensions, like if you're already working on something, resizing them, the flyers and social media aspects and the templates that they offer to you guys, the downloading files, like what the presentations, this presentation that I'm showing you guys right now was made in Canva. And I love the ease of it. I think that it makes a very professional presentation, put images, the background and elements. There's going to be so much little things that we're going to go over today, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys. So like if at any point, if you feel like I'm going too fast, just let me know. Or if you need me to go over something again, just let me know. So these are just some of the touch points that I'm going to go over today. And I do believe if you guys end up enjoying this class, I know that Renee planned on potentially having the intermediate level of Canva as well. So if, you know, your questions go a little bit deeper than some of the basics of Canva, we can look forward to that as well, as long as you guys like the information they get from this. So, and I do want to mention that Canva is easier on computers because I think you could just have more easy, like it's more readily available in the sense of like you're able to navigate it easier than what you can do on a smartphone, but they do have an app. So you guys can download the free app onto your phone and you can like download photos. So like, let's say you create something on Canva on your computer and then you're like, okay, I'm done with it. It saves the Canva online. You can go onto your phone and download it onto your phone from the Canva app. So that is pretty nice because especially like platforms like Instagram, if you guys are utilizing that in your business, you guys are going to want that on your phone because Instagram, you don't use Instagram on the computer, use it on your phone. So things like that, it can make it a little bit easier and it does automatically save. So it's nice, it can save some time. So make sure you guys, if you guys are gonna be looking into using this quite often, get the app on your phone and just kind of navigate it a little bit. But, all right. So I am going to go into Canva now. Oh. All righty. So this is the home page of Canva. And I did see that a couple of you haven't made accounts yet, which is very easy. It's just like setting up any account that you will online. You enter in your email and everything like that. If you guys want to, if you're following along right now and you don't have an account, I would just recommend making one very quickly. If for any reason you have issues making an account, you can let me know and we can go over that, but it should be pretty straightforward, just like setting up any account. So when you get into the Canva after you've made an account and everything, this is going to be the main page at canva.com. So it's going to show you, you can design anything right here. Now this search bar is very helpful. You can use this for a lot of things. If you're looking for something specific, like let's say you want to make a Facebook post and you can see right here that it shows you, okay, here's a Facebook post and it automatically gives you the dimensions of what a Facebook post is going to need, right? Or like what's better optimized on Facebook with like the square post rather than like a long or tall picture. But you can also see when I put in Facebook, which I obviously spelt wrong, it shows you like different things like, oh, there's a Facebook ad or the Facebook cover. Like if you're on your cover page of your Facebook, you want to utilize that, or the Facebook event cover. They all have different pixels that they recommend or different sizes. So if you click on one of these, it's going to bring you to that exact template that shows you exactly how big it's supposed to be. And then you can work with that and go from there. So that's something that's very nice, that they automatically do that for you and you don't have to figure out how big it needs to be, especially on a lot of the social media platforms. But let's say, you guys are all realtors, right? Let's say you want realtor stuff, right? I can look up realtor. And it's going to bring me to, I just searched realtor and it's going to bring me, oh, look at all these templates, right? all these templates for just sold, selling your home, thinking of selling. So it even gives you all of these aspects that you guys can take these things and then modify them to be what you want, right? Now, when doing that, it can get a little complicated in the sense of like, you just have to know where to go or how to ungroup things, because when you're working with a template that they give you, it's going to be grouped already, and like it's kind of going to be in a professional sense already done. So if you know how to navigate that a little bit, you'll be able to work with it better. So for instance, let's see here. I'm just going to pick a random one here. Here, I'll do this one. So I click on this, right? This is just a template. And you see here how it also brings up other templates that I can utilize, right? So if I'm clicking here, you see how there is the open house, and then there's this. And if I move this, they move together. So that's one of the biggest things that I see people having issues with, is that when they get into a template, they're like, oh, I really like this template, but I don't want those words right there. I want it somewhere else. If you right click on it, if you right click on that item or that element, you can click what's called ungroup, and that will ungroup, and then you click off of it and it will ungroup the two. So that's one of the biggest things that I see people have struggle with, is that they're like, oh, this is like stuck here. I don't know how to unstick this here. So that's a big aspect that I want you guys to know of. So that could happen with photos. That could happen with, here, let me see. So for instance, here, you see how all these are moving together, these three pictures, but you see how I can individually click on these pictures as well. You can also, so when it says detach image here, this detaching of the image, I can replace an image and put it in here, in this little spot right here. So you can put pictures of your own homes that you have here, implementing them in here. So let's say I go to photos, and really quick, before I go a little bit deeper into that, let's go over this sidebar over here on navigating what you're going to be doing here. So we have the templates. You can look up the templates. You can search whatever you want in regards to templates. Like, let's say you're looking for Veterans Day that just passed, right? So you can look up Veterans Day and see different things that they have going on. It's not really going to be, if it was in the social media one, it would show better veterans templates, because I was looking them up, but I'm on a flyer right now, so there's not going to be really Veterans Day flyers. But you can look stuff up like that and it will come up. Uploads is where you're uploading your own images. So if you have images that you're uploading, you just can search on your computer and upload them from here. Photos is all of Canva's photos, all right? So like, let's say you're looking for a house, right? So you can find pictures of houses here, and you can use any of these photos. Now, if you see here at the corner, it says Pro, right? So this one's free, this one's Pro. This is where that is going to come into an aspect of the free versus Pro edition, whatever you're paying for. Now, it's really nice to have these photos at your fingertips. Like if you're paying that monthly charge, you get all of their thousands and thousands of photos, like millions of photos actually, to be able to utilize, which I use all the time. I love them. So you can even get as specific as, like, let's say you want Florida house, because you want the house to look like Florida. I mean, you guys obviously have pictures of houses all over, because you guys, but just saying how specific it can get. You want, a neighborhood of Florida, or, a house with palm trees. Like, you can tell it what you want. And sometimes you just have to reword it specifically to be, what you want. Yes, there is. So Jerry asks, is there a way to separate free versus pro as you search the photos? So you can go ahead and click this right here, this filter button at the top, and you can click free, apply. Here's your free photos. All right, yay. All right. So, but just so you can see like how many more options you get with that pro version as well. So Yes, that is an option. And then, so let's say, you know, because I was showing you these photos over here, right? So let's say I click on this photo, right? And I want to use this photo. You see how it gives me an option? I can like input it into this category over here, or this template. So that's how you can kind of like, you can replace all of these photos here with whatever you want. So that's just like using those templates that you get if you're utilizing a template, or you can start from scratch. So going back over these elements over here, there are the elements. So the photos are photos of just pictures, right? And then there's elements, and elements are like, you know, whether they be stickers or frames or like so many different things. Pretty much I use this, and like, let's say I'm looking for, you know, a Facebook logo, and I can look up Facebook logo, and it's going to give me a bunch of different options for Facebook logo, and I can click on that and input this in here. Or I can look up, you know, monkey, and that will come up. Like literally you can look up anything and it will bring up these little animated GIFs that you can put onto your photo, and then you can move them where you want. So when you do that, you can click and drag this wherever you want it to go, right? So let's say you want to make this smaller. You see how you can go to the corners of this and bring this down, just resizing this photo. So I can make this small and then bring this wherever I want. And then let's say I wanted to click on this and press backspace and just delete that because I didn't want that. I put that there. And let's say I was putting YouTube in there or whatever it might be. And then you can resize it. So these are ways that you can utilize these templates that you guys already have, if there's a template that you guys like. So going back to, so that's what an element does. It gives you like that little piece that you can add to your template or to your blank slate if you're working with a blank slate. The text boxes over here. So these text boxes, one, it's going to give you, so this, if you just want to add text, right? Let's say you don't like this open house thing. I'm going to backspace to delete that. Let's say I want to add a heading, and I can move this up here. Let's say I want to say just sold. So I can click on this, and I can go ahead and I can go here and I can change the font. So I can look up cursive, I can look up, you know, whatever, like there was Halloween, so I looked up scary. I looked up scary fonts just because I wanted something more Halloween-y. You can look up, you know, whether it be bubble letters, or you want whatever specific type, bold letters. So those are aspects that you can use, and you can see what it looks like and change these different fonts. Now, if you look closely, you can see that there are some that have the little crown by them. That means the Pro Edition. So it's a little light. It's usually a little bit, I don't know why it's so light like that on there. Maybe it's because I have the Pro. It used to be like they might have changed that recently. It used to be like a gold thing. But you can see that it's a, right here it says, as a Canva Pro user, you can use this font. So that'll also be on the fonts there. Now, let's say if you go to the text boxes over here, this is obviously big, medium, smaller, but you can also go to their little renditions of the fonts that they have. So like, let's say you liked one of their fonts that they have here, and let's say I didn't want to use this, just sold. So maybe I wanted to use this one, and I click on this. Hold on. I'm going to delete this one too. Put room. I'm going to resize it. Again, you see how they're bunched together. There's two boxes here, two texts, but let's say I'm putting just I'm just clicking on them and sold. So you can utilize the text boxes that they already have available, but you can make it look kind of cool. So if you like one of those things that they have on here, feeling cute, whatever. Again, so those are, a lot of those are going to be with the Pro Edition to utilize the font combinations that they already have. But just so you know, it can make your life easier if it's already kind of like nicely put together and you like what it looks like. You can just change the words. So then coming over here to styles is kind of like a thing for intermediate. It's just like with your branding, if you have specific colors that you want to use for your brand, then you guys can set that up, but something for intermediate on the styles. Music, if you guys are creating videos on here, you can add from their music onto here, onto your post if it's like a little video. They do have video clips as well that you guys can utilize. So you can see here it says 20 seconds. This is a Pro Edition. They do have free versions of videos that you guys can use. But you know, a lot of this is, you can also filter that out like Jerry was saying, Pro or free version. And then you can even add text over that or whatever it might be, or just saying. So that those videos, you can do the videos in correspondence with the music, again, using any of the templates that they have, or you can be uploading your own videos if you want. And you can also do the whole search bar where it's like, it gives you suggestions up here. Like obviously we're nearing Christmas, so it's giving you Christmas and snow and like Thanksgiving. So if I look up Thanksgiving, these are like little Thanksgiving videos, and you see a lot of these are free. So you guys can utilize those if you want, and it's good, high quality content that you guys can use if you get creative. So then when it comes to background down here, so like these photos that you're looking up in the background are gonna be for the background of your photo. So like, let's say, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna show you guys really quick. So let's say you wanna add a page, right? So you have this page, but you wanna add another page. And the background's green right now. I'm just gonna click on this and just click backspace, and it's gonna delete that background. But let's say I click on this background right here, and I want this background. It's gonna automatically make it my background. So when you guys are utilizing the background tab over here, anything that you click on is automatically gonna make that the background of your photo. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't make a photo, like let's say those photos that you were looking up earlier, doesn't mean you can't make one of those a background as well. So let's say you want to make this house the background. You can go ahead, and I implemented the photo into here. I can right click on it and I can click replace background. So I replace the background, and now the background is the houses. So there's two ways to get backgrounds. You can do that from the background tab, which is automatically not going to give you an option about like moving it where you want, or you can go back to photos, click photos, or upload your own photos. You can do that with any photo that you upload. You can make it the background, and then it will just stay in the background. Now, if you, let's say you don't like the positioning of this photo because you saw how this photo looks like, where was it? Right here, it's long. If I double click on this photo, I can move it, right? And then if I just double click again, it's moved the background. Okay, so double click, move it, double click again, it's moving the background. Okay, so those are pretty much, so these are all those tabs that, and how you utilize those tabs on the side. Now I'm going to show you just like how to navigate up here. So let's say we have a bunch of different options here. There's effects. This is a tab, the effects tab. All of this is going to be available with the paid version. So what's really cool though about the effects is that I can take a picture and I can remove the background. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have headshots, right? And you probably wonder how people get rid of the background on their headshots. And there are ways, like there are some systems that you can utilize online, and then like some of them make you pay for it, some of them are free, but it's a great aspect to be able to just have it all in one place. Like, let's say, I'll keep those houses there, but like, let's say I want to add a I'm going to go to my uploads. Actually, I'm going to go to my folders down here. I guess I missed the folders down here. Sorry, guys. So there's also a folders tab down here. You guys can make folders for each of your, like if you have a different team or different projects that you're working on or whatever it might be. So I have an arrow title thing here. I got my headshot. All right, so my headshot's in there. And it just makes it easier to get to some of those photos that you might use all the time or whatever it might be. So I've got my headshot here. I can go to effects and I can remove the background of my image. I love this feature because I use it all the time. Can you use that photo as a watermark as well? So you mean my headshot? Just like if I want to make, you can, so let me say this. If you want to create your own watermark per se, so let's say you do a text and let's say you want it to be like, or let's say it's your logo. Let me use our logo. Because sometimes people put their logos like on the background, right? Like as a watermark. So let's say I'm going to put my logo on here. I just clicked on our logo and I'm moving it over here. And if you didn't want to be, did you see the background remove, that remove background was pro only? No, remove background shouldn't be pro only. You should be able to utilize that in the free version as well. So you should, like, if you're just removing or putting something to the background, you can do that on free. So let's say I want to make this not as visible and I want to make it look more like a watermark, I guess. I can go to transparency right here and I can go ahead and make this less transparent if I wanted, if you guys can see that. So I can make this more or less transparent. All right, so that's kind of how you could like watermark things if you wanted to. And then you can still move it and utilize it as a photo. But that remove background image that it did, it just removed my background and I can change this. Which button was it transparent? So that's up here. So again, I was going across the top here, but yeah, the transparent's over here. And then I'm going to go back over here and I'll come back to that as well. So the effects, there's a bunch of different effects that you can do. That includes the background remover. There's filters. I could filter my face if I wanted to, but why would I? So there's different filters that you can utilize. Adjust is if you want to adjust it yourself. Crop is if you want to crop this photo. So like, let's say I wanted to crop my body. I can click done. Now it's cropped. I can move it down. Flip is if I want to flip my face. So if I want to flip it horizontally, I could do that, or vertically if I wanted to be upside down. And yeah, so that's what those buttons are doing up here for you. Now over here is position. This is a little bit more complicated, but let's say that I'm putting a text element in here. But oh no, it's covering my face, right? I don't want it to cover my face. So I can click position. I'm selecting this pool party thing, right? I can click position and I can click backwards and it will put my face in front of it. So the position, I think that the most important things, especially when you're utilizing those templates and everything that you're going to be working with, you have to just be aware of the position of things. Like if things are in front of what you want them, but you want to put them a little bit more backwards, you can click on that and move that position. So I can even click on my photo and click position and move it behind it, because that can really confuse the layout of things. So there's different layers. When you're thinking of a graphic design, you have to think of it in layers. I have this photo as the background. I've got my text overlay and I've got my picture that I want behind it. So, and you can kind of like gauge it from there. Like obviously this doesn't look good. I wouldn't make, this the case, I'd move this over here and I wouldn't even let it cover my face. But just in case there was ever a situation where you did want something to be behind it. So that's position, moving things to the position of whatever is in front of it. And then, something. The copy style, that's something that's more advanced. You don't need to worry about that right now. The transparency, like we just went over, this is the transparency button to make something less transparent. If you don't, you can do that with anything. You can do that with these letters too, if you wanted. You could make anything less transparent or more transparent. And then link, that's more complicated. You don't need to worry about that right now in the basics. But those are kind of like the main aspects of, so we got all of these tabs on the side. We've got all of these aspects that you can edit with on the top here. And then you've got like the ungrouping and everything, the position, the transparency over here. Now, let's say I was done with all of this, or actually, you know what? I'm going to show you one thing on this while we're here. I'm going to make this. So let's say I love this template. And this is another reason why I love the Pro. Let's say I love this template. Let's say I use this for a pool party that I had, whatever it might be. But now I want to use it on Instagram, but that's a little big for Instagram, right? I'm actually going to delete this page so it doesn't even worry. Or actually, no, I'll keep that page so you guys can see what it does. So let's say I'm like, okay, well, I want to make this post for Instagram. So I can go ahead and go to resize here. This is a Pro feature. This is one of the Pro features that I really liked, because I will say I had the free version for a long time until I convinced my boss. I was like, we need the paid version. I use this too much. But when I went to resize things, it was like, okay, let's say you work so hard to make something and then you're like, well, now it's not the right size. I want to use this for something else. Then you have to go recreate it and in the size that you need it, which can be really a pain in the butt if you spend a lot of time on something. So you can click this resize button. And let's say right now it's on the real estate flyer. Let's say I wanted to make it, it's actually going to show you right here. It's going to give me suggestions, like recent things that I've resized. So I can pick my own dimensions if I want. I can make it, you know, I can make it by pixel. I can say I want it to be 300 by 100 inches or pixels or millimeters or whatever. So if someone's giving you a specific amount that it needs to be or size that it needs to be, you can make that here. Or I can just say, hey, I want this to be an Instagram post. And then I can either copy and resize it. So I can copy this document and it'll make a whole separate document if I want to keep this the same. Or I can just resize this specific document. I'm not going to copy and resize it because this is just a sample. So I'm just going to resize it right here and there. And it automatically resizes it to the Instagram portion that I want. So it might look a little bit different. So this obviously was cut off before, right? The flyer, because it was a little bit longer. And then obviously I moved, so you can always just adjust it a little here and there, wherever you need to make it fit the new dimensions. So that's something that I really do utilize a lot, especially if you're planning an event or something and you need to resize it for multiple social media purposes or email blasts or whatever it might be. So that's a good aspect. The file button over here, again, this will talk about the file that you have. You can rename your file right here. So if you wanted to say, you know, the lesson, you can rename it right here. There's the name. And then here's the file. So like if you wanted to show the rulers, you can do that on this page. This is again a little bit more, I'm not even going to go really into this because this is more for the intermediate lessons, but I just kind of wanted to show you where, because I showed you the, when resizing for Instagram, does it automatically resize for Facebook? No. So if you wanted to, there's a Facebook option. So I can click Facebook, I can search Facebook. All right, let's say there's a Facebook post. So I can go ahead and click Facebook post, resize, and it will resize it for Facebook. So you can resize it for anything that you need. You can just search for whatever it is. Let's say I wanted to make it an event cover. Facebook event cover, resize. It's just resized it for an event cover. You can see like the dramatic changes that happen. And you just have to edit it from there, like make these things a little bit bigger. You know, you can make them bigger or smaller or whatever. But at least all of the pieces that you've put into it and made time to, like, they're already right there, and you just have to like adjust them a little bit rather than recreate it all and find all the pieces again. Because sometimes when you're searching for some photos, you might find like the perfect photo like 12 pages down, and then you can't find that specific photo again. So does that answer your question, Gail? Yeah. Where was I? Oh, what I wanted to show you guys with this file. So if you're saving to folders, so I showed you the folders earlier, like if you have different projects that you're working on, or if maybe you have multiple companies, like maybe you have your real estate, but maybe you have something else that you're doing on the side, but you want to keep things separate. Let's say I was, working on this Canva lesson and I wanted to save it to a folder. I can click which folder I want to put it into, or I can create a new folder. So that's how you can kind of organize within your Canva, because what it got to for me was like I had way too much stuff going on. And because if you're just going onto your homepage over here, you go to your homepage and you can go to all your designs, and literally it'll just be like, you just scroll down and see all the designs that you've had. But then if you're searching for something and you want to specify it into categories, it can be very helpful. So I do want to go over the shared aspect, because I did have a question on that before we had everybody on today. So if you do want to share this with someone else, like let's say you have some people on your team, or let's say you're editing it and you want to share it, let's say you're helping someone edit something and you want to share it with them so that they can share it as well, or make edits and change it to make, say, their name or whatever it might be. You can click the share button at the top, and then you can just type in their email, and let's say whatever it is. Obviously my email's already in there, but then you can just click send and it will send them an email with a link, with the shared link. And you can see here that if you want it, you can make it an editable version, or they can just view the flyer. You don't have to make it editable if you don't want them to edit what you've worked on. So that's an option. Can you add links to the Facebook icon and the YouTube icon? Yes, you can. There's a way to click the link here. So like, let's say you are, the thing is it might not work on every platform like that. So, but you can add them. So like if you're adding it to like an email or something like that. I can click on the Facebook, I can click on this link button at the top, and let's say I'm doing www.facebook.com/arrow title services, apply. So now that's attached to that when I download that. Let me see there. So you want to click on that and it's right there. So it's applied to that. If you know your link, but you could also go and copy your link too. Now, when you're downloading these, whatever it might be, you can download it multiple file types, and this might help you to, what's nice is Canva breaks down exactly what quality you're going to get. So if it's a PNG, it'll say this is a high quality image. A JPEG is a small file size image. The standard PDF, the smallest file size but multi-page. It'll if you want a PDF that's for print, high quality multi-page document. The sharp vector graphics, this is going to be a paid version. And then the video, if you're doing a video, you want to make sure that you're downloading it as a video. Now, Canva will automatically, it'll give you a suggested file type. So if you are doing a video, it's going to suggest that you download it as an MP4 video. It's not going to be like, oh, download it as a PNG, but you can download a video as a PNG if you just want the image of what you have. But it'll give you the suggested, or you can do a GIF as well. And then from here, you can actually choose the size. This is a pro version. So like, let's say you have the pixels here, but you need this file size to be bigger. Like you can make this, you know, 3 times as big, just automatically just in downloading it. And then another big thing that I also really liked when it comes to logos and stuff, or you know how like when you guys are creating photos, or you see, or not photos, when you guys are creating flyers, you know, when you see flyers and like it looks like there's just like things copy and pasted into there, like a picture is kind of just there, and it should kind of have like a background that's taken away, like the background really shouldn't be there. You can do transparent backgrounds for things. And I love this because, you know, it's great for your logo. I've removed, so like, let's say my logo that I have only has a white background in it. I can remove the logo, or I can remove the background with the pro feature, and then I can download the file as a transparent background. So then I have in my files a transparent background image of my logo, just for an example. So I found that very helpful, because before, when I first started with Arrow, we didn't have a transparent background logo. So I created one. It was nice. So that's, you know, that's an option. And then there's also the compressing the file to make it smaller, because sometimes when you're uploading to certain things, it will tell you that the file is too large. So then you know to resize it over here. I'm glad that you like it, Gretchen. Thank you. Okay, this is another great aspect as well, is like, let's say you have multiple pages here, right? So I have 2 pages here. I only want one of these pages to download. I don't want both right now. I just made adjustments to this and I only need this one adjusted. So let's say I'm downloading and I make all of my suggestions here. I can select which page I want to download. So I can say, I only want page 1. Done. I only want to download page 1. And then when I click download, it'll download to my computer. And then I'll only have page 1, whatever edits I made to page 1. So that's an aspect to keep in mind too. Now, one other thing over here is, let's say that you are working on something, and then you all of a sudden you're like, I kind of want to see what this looks like different, but I don't want to mess this up, right? So you're like, this looks good right now, but I kind of want to mess with it a little bit more, but I don't want to lose what I've already kind of done. What I would suggest is to click up here where it says duplicate page. So if I click duplicate page, it now duplicates that page. So page 1 and page 2 are the exact same. So that duplicate page option is great, because now it's like, okay, I love what this looks like, but now I can mess with this and I can move this and I don't like this, or whatever it might be. And I can move around and do whatever I want with this. So that's an option as well, just so that if you do end up finding something that you like and you want to kind of play with it a little bit more, and you can always delete these pages at any point. So you can delete right here. And there's also up here, this, like, let's say you're like, oh no, I didn't mean to delete that. This undo button is glorious too. So I can undo anything that I was just doing if I didn't mean to delete something. And then I can redo as well. So that's an aspect. Or if you just, again, want to add another page, you can add a page at the bottom here, or you can click add page at the top here, and it'll bring that background. Let's say you're working on a presentation and you have a lot of different pages. Let's say you got 30 pages in your presentation or something like that, and you want to navigate it a little bit better. You can go ahead to down here. You see how this is pretty filled out right now? And you can see down here where it says zoom. So I can actually like zoom out. I can make this bigger. I can make this bigger or smaller, whatever it might be, but I can also click right here, right next to that zoom out feature where it says grid view, and I can see all of the different pages that I have. So let's say I have like 20 pages and like I need to get to page 20 over here. I can double click on page 20 and it'll bring me right to that page. And then there's also the fit option or the fill. So does that all make sense? Does anybody have any questions? Everybody getting alert? Checking in, making sure I didn't lose y'all. I know it's a lot of stuff. There's so much that you can really do on here, and this is like literally the tip of the iceberg for Canva, because there's so much with the overlays that you can do. But yeah, so these, and then what's nice as well, like you saw that I have this presentation that I made here in Canva. This is probably a good aspect actually to show you kind of what that looks like when there's multiple pages that you want to get to. When you do your presentations in Canva, you can go ahead, you see how up here it says present? I can just go ahead and start presenting to you guys and it will just show just like a presentation, just like a PowerPoint presentation. But I like this so much better than PowerPoint. And then you can see here that you can actually pick a couple of different ways to present. You can do standard, you can do autoplay, like if you set speeds for it, kind of like you can do with PowerPoint, or you can do presenter view, where it views like if you want to make notes and then see upcoming slides. Like, I don't know if it'll show you my presenter view. Let's see, because I'm sharing my screen, but we'll see. Do you guys see my presenter view over here? Yeah, okay. So obviously if I'm, you know, doing this, it's not, if I'm presenting on something else like a laptop or something like that, it's going to show only that for people, but you can kind of see what's coming up next. It's just a really great, there's so many aspects to Canva that, you know, you can really utilize and make your stuff look very professional very easily. So I do want to show you some, you know, when it comes to being creative, like it really takes away some of that need to be creative. Because like, let's say you're working on, you know, Instagram post, or you want to do an Instagram post. If you see, this was on the, just so you guys know, this was on the main page. It's giving me recommended things that I can utilize, things that I've used in the past. There's different tabs right here. I can go to social media. I can go to, you know, events. I can go to marketing. There's so many aspects that they have here. But when you go to social media, you can see that there's an Instagram post. And when I clicked on, or actually here. So let's say I was looking up Instagram posts. It's going to give me some recommended designs. So you can utilize any of these templates again. So it's a really cool aspect. And really, like I said, with these templates, you just have to be most aware of the position of the photo and the pieces that are grouped together. I think those are the two things that really get people when they're utilizing the templates, is they're like, I love this template, but I don't know how to like edit it to be what I want. So you can see that all of these look very visually pleasing, and you can utilize these for Facebook anything. So it's really great. It's a great aspect. All right, let's get back to over here. All right, so no, I didn't want that one. All right, so I showed you quite a bit of overview with the basics of the Canva, and you guys said you had no questions about what I showed you or anything that you wanted me to go over again. I appreciate you guys all being on here. All righty. So this replay is going to be on our YouTube channel. So make sure we have a YouTube channel. We have a lot of great content on there when it comes to Arrow Title Services. But we also have the replays for all of our classes that we do. And we also have Market Update Mondays and Thursdays Top Tips. So if you guys are ever interested in being a part of those, we would love to have you. You can follow us on social media. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, we do quite a bit. And I'm always available too if you guys ever have any questions specifically for Canva or Zoom or Instagram or Facebook. I'm quite savvy in it all, and I help a lot of my clients with learning. A few of you guys have known I've worked with you guys and helped you guys out. So if you guys ever have any questions, I'm available. You can reach out to me. I'll go ahead and put my cell phone number in the chat so you guys have a direct contact to me and my email address in case you ever have any questions. But I believe you guys have that too from the sign up. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to be with me here today, and I hope that you guys really found it helpful. I do actually have a quick little poll for you guys if you guys don't mind, and I know that Renee would appreciate. Let me go ahead and launch that poll for you guys. You guys see the poll? If you guys have already answered the poll, thank you. I hope that you guys had a great time. I tried to make it a little fun. Sorry if it was a little snoozy. I'm, try to get you guys as much information as possible. It's a lot of information, and I hope to be able to be back for the intermediate version where we can get a little bit deeper and learn some more. But if there is everything that between now and then, you guys can always ask me questions. I'm available for you guys. Thanks for the claps, Sherry. And Laura, you guys are great. It's always great to see you guys too. And I'll stay on for a few minutes if you guys have any other questions. If you're a realtor and you're rewatching this, thank you. I hope that you guys found it helpful. Go ahead and leave us a comment here on YouTube and let us know what you think about it. If you weren't here for this class, we're happy to know that we were able to help you if we did. And also, just so you guys know, if you guys are local to the Treasure Coast of Florida, where we are located, we do host a Market Update Monday and a Thursday's Top Tips in Real Estate every week. The Market Update Monday is with local realtors, and we talk about how the market's doing, how it's being updated, and as well as you get an opportunity to showcase one of your listings that you guys have. So it's always a great way to market yourself and just get some information out there to the public. And then we have Thursday's Top Tips in Real Estate, which is where local realtors and lenders come on and we talk about the real estate market, and we talk about different topics in real estate like rent versus buy, or new construction versus resale, and how to prepare to purchase a home and stuff like that. So it's always great content, and we stream it live every week. And if you guys are watching this, you probably have already hopefully subscribed to our channel, and you guys can see all of the replays that we've done in our playlist for the Market Update Monday and Thursday's Top Tips. If you ever want to be a part of it, please reach out to me. My contact information will be below in the description of this video, and we hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to our channel if you found it good, and we hope to see you guys again for the intermediate version if you guys are a part of MCRTC. And if you are not a part of MCRTC, then you guys will be able to watch that replay as well on our YouTube channel. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and happy November.